The Daily Bugle's J. Jonah Jameson revealed Peter Parker's identity as Spider-Man to the world while also portraying him as the guy responsible for Mysterio's death and an alleged mass casualty catastrophe in London. Suddenly, a swarm of citizens surrounds him and Michelle Jones, forcing them to flee the media and the police. They take refuge in Parker's flat and rejoin with May Parker and Happy Hogan, who confess that their relationship has ended. Soon after, the U.S. Department of Damage Control takes them, along with Ned Leeds, into custody for questioning. Parker employs Matt Murdock to represent him, and he is successful in having his criminal charges dropped. Parker, Jones, and Leeds, on the other hand, return to Midtown High. For their senior year, the intense controversy causes them to be rejected from every college they apply to, including MIT. Parker goes to the New York Sanctum and asks Dr. Strange to keep Spider-Man's identity hidden once more in order to get his friends into MIT. Despite Wong's warning, Strange attempts to cast the magic with the runes of Kafkol. Parker, on the other hand, constantly modifies the magic while requesting other people close to him to do so. Be immune to its consequences. As a result, the spell becomes unstable, requiring Strange to confine it. Strange aggressively sends Parker out of the sanctum for not speaking with college administration before meeting with him. Contacting Flash Thompson, who got admitted to MIT, Parker is directed to an administrator who is traveling to the Alexander Hamilton Bridge in an attempt to appeal his, Jones, and Leeds applications. Dr. Octopus, who appears to know Parker personally, ambushes him. Dr. Octopus captures him and pulls a piece of iron spider armor from him, transferring its nanites to his tentacles. He attempts another strike, but Spider-Man displays his face, which Dr. Octopus is unfamiliar with. Spider-Man then uses the suit's nanites to control Dr. Octopus' tentacles and saves the MIT administrator from going off the bridge, who chooses to assist him and his friends get admitted out of gratitude. Green Goblin appears and tries to attack Spider-Man, but he and Dr. Octopus are taken inside the sanctum, where Strange imprisons Dr. Octopus and Lizard. He informs Parker that Dr. Octopus, Lizard, and Green Goblin are not from this realm, but rather from other realities inside the multiverse, and that they were drawn into this reality by the botched spell because they know Spider-Man's identity. Strange confines this magic in the Machina D Catavis, a mystical containment mechanism. Parker is hired to assist identify and capture these visitors, and his suit receives a magical boost. Spider-Man locates Electro outside the city with the help of Jones and Leeds. Surprised, he confronts Spider-Man and obtains the upper hand, but Sandman defeats him, intervenes to protect the hero. The two work together to sever the electricity lines, restoring Electro's body completely. Sandman believes Spider-Man killed him when he is transported to the sanctum, but he is also captured before he can respond. In other news, Norman Osborn attempts to abandon his Green Goblin character by smashing his mask and fleeing to an FEST facility for shelter. Thanks to May, Spider-Man finds Osborn and delivers him to the sanctum. Osborn, Dr. Octopus, and Electro quickly realize that they died and were resurrected by the spell, implying that they would death if they returned home. Strange informs to Spider-Man that these three are bound to perish fighting their own Spider-Man. He aims to use the Machina to undo the enchantment and return them to their fates for the good of the wider multiverse. Convinced that they can be cured of their adversarial natures and saved from death, Spider-Man grabs the Machina before Strange can use it and flees. Strange pursues Spider-Man, steals Spider-Man's powers, and sends him into the mirror dimension to collect the Machina, while simultaneously attempting to convince him of the multiversal stakes based on the guests being returned back. Unfazed, Spider-Man entangles Strange in a web matrix and snatches his sling ring before returning to the earthly plane. He hands the ring to Leeds. Of the structure, Green Goblin attacks Spider-Man, knocking him to the ground floor, while Lizard, Sandman, and Electro flee. May sprints outside and injects an antidote into Green Goblin, which fails to function. Green Goblin releases 2 pumpkin bombs after striking May with his Goblin glider, which Spider-Man fails to deflect and explodes in their vicinity. Spider-Man locates May among the ruins. May, unaware that she has been seriously hurt, begs her nephew not to give up helping people despite the odds, warning him that great power comes with great responsibility. Spider-Man tries to save May as DODC officers surround them, but she dies in front of him. Hogan comes on the scene and is quickly captured by police. Spider-Man escapes, his guilt heightened by Jameson's gaslighting coverage of the attack. Jones is worried following Spider-Man's silence to ignite the Mac China, but Leeds accidentally opens a gateway with the sling ring. In their search for Spider-Man, they come across what appears to be their Spider-Man on the other side of the portal and summon him. They quickly realize, however, that this Spider-Man is not theirs, but rather one from another dimension who has previously fought the Lizard and Electro. Leeds tries again, but this time conjures an alternate Peter Parker, who has previously faced the Green Goblin, Octavius, and Sandman. The group eventually locates their Spider-Man alone on the roof of Midtown and attempts to soothe him over May, but he is too distressed by his faults to care. Before he may use the Mac China to send the multiversal passengers home, he must first complete the following tasks. The other 2 Parkers began expressing their own personal experiences of grief and bitterness to help him cope and recognize he is not alone. A re-energized Spider-Man then proceeds to carry out his plan and heal the criminals. The Parkers, Jones, and Leeds then retire to a Midtown classroom laboratory to develop a cure for the baddies. Osborn's Parker makes an anti-serum for the Green Goblin, while Electro's Parker recreates the Lizard antidote to restore him to normalcy, and Spider-Man prepares the remedies for Sandman and Electro. Leeds then transports them to the Statue of Liberty by portal while he and Jones stay in the lab. Spider-Man dials into the Daily Bugle to broadcast a message, using the Mac China as a bait and declaring his existence to Lizard, Electro, and Sandman. They appear and attack the 3 Spider-Men atop the scaffolding. The web-slingers are unable to cooperate properly, allowing their opponents to easily overwhelm them. Spider-Man takes command of the trio due to his expertise as a member of the Avengers. The 3 adopt codenames, Spider-Man as Peter 1, Osborn Spider-Man as Peter 2, and Electro Spider-Man as Peter 3. They plan to take on and cure one enemy at a time, beginning with Sandman. After restraining Lizard, Peter 3 obtains Sandman's cure and passes the gadget to Peter 1, who then provides the treatment to Peter 2, allowing Marco to be neutralized. The 3 Spider-Men attempt to steal Electro's arc reactor, but he proves to be too powerful for them due to his heightened power from the energy source. Lizard escapes the lab and attacks Jones and Leeds, causing Peter 1 to flee and battle him. Peter 1 uses Leeds and his sling ring to force Lizard to open a bottle holding the antidote that restores him to his human form, Kurt Connors. Leeds inadvertently invites Strange to the battlefield, and when he sees Connors, he realizes Peter 1's pacifist strategy is succeeding. Strange reclaims his Mac China and sling ring from Leeds. Electro overwhelms Peter 2 and Peter 3. Until Octavius arrives and extracts the arc reactor himself, rendering him helpless with the completed neutralizer. Peter 3 reconciles with Dylan. While Peter 2 happily welcomes Octavius back into his life. Peter 1 returns to Strange as he prepares to send everyone home using the Mac China. Green Goblin ambushes the group and steals the Mac China, but Octavius and Strange reclaim it. Green Goblin had hidden a pumpkin bomb within the object, unbeknownst to them. It explodes, releasing the unstable confined magic, ripping the fabric of the universe and allowing the multiverse to enter. Jones is also thrown from the Statue of Liberty as a result of the explosion. Peter 1 dives to save her but is thrown aside by Green Goblin. Peter 3 saves her and starts crying because it reminds him of the night Gwen Stacy died. Peter 1 faces Green Goblin alone as morning breaks. He savagely beats him down and attempts to finish him off with his glider. But he is stopped by Peter 2. This, however, exposes him to being stabbed in the back by Green Goblin. Peter 3 gives Peter 1 the anti-serum, which allows him to cure Osborn of the Green Goblin. He notices Peter 2's non-fatal wounded and realizes the enormity of the devastation he has inflicted. Strange fights to keep the universe's rifts together, while attackers prepare to invade this world. To repair that, Peter 1 has him cast a new magic that makes everyone forget who he is. Following that, Peter 1 welcomes his alternate selves, who encourage him to keep on becoming Spider-Man. Strange uses the new spell to close the rifts and successfully sends Peter 2, Peter 3, Dylan, Octavius, Osborn, Marco, and Connors back to their original realities. Spider-Man embraces Leeds and Jones one last time, pledging to return someday and help them remember him. He then flees while Strange casts the spell, rendering the entire world unaware of Parker's existence. It's now the holidays,